You feel me?
Right, right. Yeah, and I know you said you were, you know, the youngest sibling. And it seems like most of your siblings kind of went and joined the family business, but you said, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do the music. What was it about music
I mean,
that made you say,
it
this
wasn't
is what
really
I
like,
want to do?
oh, I want to go like rebel and do my own thing. It wasn't really that. I was just in love with music. It was just I couldn't concentrate doing anything else. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? You know what I'm saying? I was slacking in school. I was slacking in a lot of other things that, you know, I was meant to be focusing on doing. That it was just music, music, and music, and it just like I had to kind of fight for it. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
So it's just what I just knew that I was destined to do. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I know you said you went to school. When you came back, you went to school for a while at Alabama.
Oh yeah,
And
so yeah, I came back. I came no. I came back to America. Then I went to school. I first went to school in Tennessee. That was the
okay,
first.
okay,
Yeah, the first place I went to was Tennessee.
okay.
Then it was like it was weird. It was like I couldn't stay there, so I got moved to HBCU in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. This college called Oakwood University.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's where like I bought my first equipment. Then I started recording in the dorm,
Right.
and that's really where like I was like, you know what, this one. I went to college at 15. I went to college very very young, because in Nigeria,
15?
because in Nigeria you
Oh,
graduate early. I said you do everybody goes to college like 16, but I was young. I was turning. I went to college 15. I was turning 16 that fall, so I was in college really young. So
right.
at that, like 15, 16, I knew, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it here. Like, I want to go back home and do music. So that's how I just went back home and I started.
So take us back to that dorm room or wherever you was at in college, and you producing your first tracks. Like what was
Yeah, so
that like?
like the first time I even ever saw like a mini studio or like any type of equipment, I was outside the dorm, and like the guy that stays above my room, he used to do like gospel music.
Okay, okay.
So like I was used to hear like upstairs, boom, 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 boom. I was like, yo, let me go upstairs and check this guy out. So I went there, I knocked the door, bah, bah, bah. He opened the door and I seen the equipment. I'm like, what's going on here? So I went in the room. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, you can record music like without being in like a big studio. He
Right.
was like, yeah, you just buy a laptop. You know what I'm saying? You get your mic, you get your sound card, and you get your what you call it, your software to record on, obviously. And like the next day or the day after, he took me to the store. I bought all the equipment. And then it was lit.
You
And then from there, I started watching YouTube videos on how to record, how to like at least record to make it sound good at least before you send it on to get mixed and mastered. And then from there, it just started learning and learning. And like I was saying, as I was learning music, how to record, I was
right.
slacking in other things. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah, yeah.
the music took over me and everything. So it was just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting now because, you know, the creative process is so different because now you could be, like you said, in the comfort of a dorm room or your home. You just need a laptop and all this. So,
In your living room,
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
anywhere.
Right. So,
You can like these days you can record it. You can actually record on your phone.
no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can
could do
record
a
on your
whole
phone.
album. Yeah. So what's your? I know that. I mean, for you have such a diverse background with the creative process because not only are you an artist, but you're a songwriter and a producer. So when you're getting ready to go in the studio or in your home and you're getting ready to create, what's your process? Do you start with the beat? Do you start with the
I
lyrics? Like,
mean,
what's your process?
like with me, like in the beginning of my career, like early stages of my career,
Uh-huh.
it was really like almost a one-man band. That's like my first recording, was like my first single. I made the beats. You know what I'm saying, I recorded the song myself. You know, my second single, Davido, I co-produced it. I mixed and mastered Davido myself.
Oh, then
So
you get it in. Okay.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
when I was getting bigger, you know, I was going on tour, so it was like I kind of knew like I couldn't do everything myself because like
Right.
everything was getting bigger. So like I mean, I have like producers that I work with, like
Right.
now, like a range of them. I have songwriters that I work with, co-write songs with range of them. I have engineers that I work with now, because I believe in the collective efforts right now. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's real.
you know, for a while, yeah, I was producing a lot of my own stuff, but now I really just sit back and learn from young minds, learn from even like these new producers that are way younger than me right now. I'm even learning a lot from them. So it's just, it's just crazy.
So when did the moment hit for you? Because I know that your like your dad really wanted you to be in the university and follow the school. When was the moment for you where it was like, this is what I can do. I'm gonna do it, and there's no turning back. When was that moment?
I mean, like obviously, like I'm not a fool. Like when my dad told me, like, oh, you gotta be in school. Honestly, I wasn't gonna leave school unless I was sure, like,
Right.
It's lit type. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I was in school. I came back home. I was in school, Bangkok University. I was there for like 2 years. I was there straight for like 7 months straight, and like it's outside the city. It's like outside the city. So I made sure I was like, my friend had to tell me and call me like, yo, it's lit, boy. They played your song in the club last night. Everybody went crazy. I said, bet, I'm out. So that's really how. But honestly, I blew up and I went back to school and I got my degree.
What did you go to school for?
Business management / music.
Man, so you really got the best of both worlds here, man. So,
Yes,
so
because the business side of everything is important. Like I said, like music's 30%, music is 30-40%.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, the business side obviously is something that you have to,
So
have
do you feel like you benefited from finishing school with your music career? You feel like that knowledge you got from
honestly with I don't want to be like, oh, don't go to school or it's bad, but I don't want to be like, oh, you have to go to school to be able to handle business in music. I know a lot of people that haven't finished school that that even more, they're killing it in the business side of things. So I wouldn't say, but with me, I said it did help me. I'd say it did help me just to concentrate and just sometimes in life you just have to sacrifice. It was something that I had to do for my father. Like, look, I let you do this music, but just finish school. So I just that was my own term. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For somebody else, it might be different. Now a lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to school, so I can't just say go to school. You know what I'm saying?
I saw an interview where you talked about how your dad made a deal with you and said you go to school, he'll build you a studio and do the 2 videos. Talk a little bit about that conversation with your pops.
No cap. No cap. That was the deal. I was like, all right. I was like, you want me to go to school? All right, man, let's make a deal. Whatever. So he built me like the best studio in Lagos at that time.
Yeah.
The best studio. He built me like the best studio in Lagos at that time. So, and honestly, I benefited a lot of that studio. I recorded my first album studio in that studio. I met a lot of artists, a lot of big artists that were way bigger than me at that time. They came around in that studio. So the studio did a lot for me. I wouldn't even lie, it did a lot for me.
No, that's big. That's big. I mean, that
So
was
the
good.
deal was,
He was already negotiating.
No, the deal was I go to school straight for 2 weeks. So if I go to school Monday, I stay 1 week. Then the next weekend, I get to come home. You feel me?
Okay. Oh, so you was
So
traveling
that was the
back and
deal. I
forth
was
that
like,
often?
huh?
You was traveling back and forth that often?
Yeah, it was like 45-minute drive. Like,
Okay. Going back there. Okay. Man, so I know you talked a lot about, you were really hands-on in the beginning doing like the production, the mixing, and now, you're more established. You can have like a team around you. But was there anybody around you from the beginning, any mentors or any people that you looked up to on a music base that kind of helped you to get to that point where you are now?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I mentioned some names before. Like shout out to Don Jazzy and the Bars. Like those are like the first people like me like coming from Atlanta and just hanging around them. Honestly, those were like the first people to inspire me to want to do like African music because like them boys did that shit. Like they did it. Like, my bad for cursing, but them boys did it. You know what I'm saying? Like they took it on another level. Like I remember seeing them with Jay-Z and Kanye in a room. I was like, what? Wow. Like African music, seeing that, being African in college and seeing that and showing my friends like, yo, these African musicians, look at them, Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? That it made them take, you know, the whole thing more serious. So of course they had a lot to do with me, you know, wanting to do music. Of course, my father, of course, is a mentor, you know. You know, but apart from that, you know what I'm saying, I learned a lot from myself. I learned a lot from experiences that I experienced, you know, coming in the industry. I've been through a lot, you know, before getting here. So, you know, you just life. I think life has been like a crazy experience for me to just use as, you know. But I won't say like, apart from the people I just named and a couple other people, of course, like the musicians I named earlier, P Square, Two Face, they're a lot. But when I say like the people I hung around that made me like want to do it was, you know, more hits, you know, because I was in their house as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So.
Right. No, I mean, no, that's real. It's always good to have those people to lean on. And like you said, life is the best, you know, instructor itself, you know, just learning from life lessons itself, you know. I do see that you got, you know, it's like you said, you were able to really tap in from the Nigerian culture, the American culture, because you're living in both. And I see that you got some big collaborations with some big artists here in, you know, the U.S. from, you know, Chris Brown to Summer Walker. And it seems like they really tapped in to your sound of music. So what was those collaborations like? Did you have to like introduce them to the style, or how was it working with
nah, like trust me, like everybody knows what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the genre, African music has been loved for time, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like now we're getting like the exposure, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now we're getting to do late night shows. Right. Now we got billboards in Times Square, we're on the radio, we're getting booked for festivals, you know what I'm saying? So there are a couple of things that make it look like it's new, but it's not new. African music has been loved since King Sunny Ade, since Fela, since time. Like these legends have been signing international contracts way before even when we just signed. We are like a couple years back, and everybody thought it was like the first time. But you know, it's been happening. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, it's always been here, but I just feel like it's just now that we've gotten that recognition. So everybody like thinks it's new, but nah, it's been here for time.
No, that's
It's
true.
been here for time.
Man, I know you've been dark for so long.
And
for
so and like with the artists, like with Chris, me and Chris just had a mutual friend, and he just called me like, yo, I have a song called Assurance with Chris loves it. So Chris was like, yo, Chris dancing to Assurance in the living room. He loved it. I was like, yo, what's up? Give me his number, and I called him the same day, and we just linked up from there. And you know, I really think it's important for people you collaborate to be your friends. Like,
right.
I feel like the vibe has to be right. Like, I hung out with Chris for almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks before we even shot a video or, you know, did any record. You know what I'm saying? With Summer Walker, I had been in the studio with her man, London, on the track for like since time. I've known him since when I've known Thug since time. With Lil Baby, I met Lil Baby when he first got out of jail, before he started rapping, before he got in the studio.
Man, no, that's true. I definitely want you to emphasize a little bit more on, just like you said, the importance of just friendship, because that's big. You see a lot of people that may think like, oh, I'm gonna just collab.
Friend, like trust me, man. Like I said, experience. Like I said, experience has been like a great lesson. So like even with me, like I've made songs with people in the past where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the label hooked it up, but if it's not, you know what I'm saying? If it's not natural, if it's not something that you know, that I can see a future with going tour. Like me and Chris, we went on tour together. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's so much more than the music. You feel me?
Right. No, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Talk a little bit about, you know, did you run into any challenges when you stepped into this industry? Like, were there any times where you kind of maybe felt doubtful, or you felt like, man, maybe I should just fall with the school stuff, or
there was never a time. There was never, because I'm a warrior. So like, there was never a time where it was like, oh, I'm quitting. But like, I did have a lot of like, in the beginning, I did have a lot of challenges, because of my background and where I come from. You know, so a lot of people just, oh, his dad has money, you know, so I paid all the blah, blah, blah. And I said, but I just kept on winning. I'm like, I just kept on winning, you know what I'm saying? It just got to a point where it's like, yo, he's just blessed and he's good at what he does, you know what I'm saying? It took a while for people to accept because of my background, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm over it.
Where do you build that confidence from? Because a lot of people, it seems like they stop when it gets hard. But for you,
No,
you said
there a lot of times, facts. A lot of times, I wouldn't say I wanted to stop. It was just like, man, like this is kind of too much. But no, like